This is MCGUIGAN for IFLTV. Delighted to be joined by Brian BOMAC McIntyre in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're here for the biggest test of Steven Nelson's career. I want to ask you first, do you believe that they're overlooking Steven Nelson, maybe because of his age, maybe because he's not seen to be fighting the best of the best and they're really bigging Diego Pacheco up?
Well, I think you said it correct. I think they're just looking at his age. That could be a downplay on him, but as far as him fighting guys, I mean, he's been getting them out of there when he's 20-0 with 18 knockouts, and these ain't been no pushover guys, and not kind of been active like he should, but, he had an injury here and there, so, but that's what our job is here for, to prove everybody wrong.
What weaknesses do you see in Diego Pacheco? Because like I say, Matchroom, Eddie Earn have kind of labelled him as a star. He's really, they've been with him from the start. He's up and coming. He's really going in the world level now. If he does beat Steven Nelson, he'll hopefully fight for the title.
Well, I don't put it out there with what I see that he does wrong, but definitely he does a lot of things wrong. That you just got to be patient enough to be able to pick those things out the fighter has to be, and the team got to see it. And I'm sure his team is going to do the same thing to Nelson's team. So, I mean, we ready for it, and we definitely going to pick his ass apart.
How has Steven Nelson been this camp? Obviously, he's in esteemed, surroundings with Bud, with Keyshawn Davis in the gym. How has he been this camp?
Great. It's great. We have our ups and downs in camps, and, and that's what we need. Camp to be tough, camp to be make it look like that you're working hard for something, and that's what we want. So it's been a great camp, but it's been a tough camp for him. He's did everything that Red, Saul, and Bernie, Bud, whoever else was in camp helping out acts of him. He's done it, and now it's time to go show.
How far can Steven Nelson go, BOMAC, in terms of the level he's at? If he beats Diego Pacheco, where does he go next, and how far can he go in the sport?
I believe in my heart that after he beat Pacheco, he could be in line for a title shot at 168.
Obviously, you've got Keyshawn Davis in the gym. Keyshawn has a big world title fight coming up. How's he look this camp, and excited to see him in there against Brunswick?
Man, I'm happy for the kid. It's been a long time coming for him. Coming off a silver medalist in the Olympics, so he's always wanted that next level starship. So this is his chance to make things happen.
I think it's fair to say he'll probably never fight Shakur because of their kind of relationship. But other than Shakur, who out there would you like to see Keyshawn in with?
Whoever else got those titles, man. I want Keyshawn to be able to clean up those titles and then move on to something better.
Do you foresee a situation where he just keeps on moving up in weight, Keyshawn? Is he that ability to kind of come up and down and be a pound for pound great, like someone else you have in the gym? And Terence Crawford?
If Keyshawn was had the size of Terence Crawford, I'm sure he could be able to move up. He's got a good boxing IQ, and one thing about Keyshawn, he loves to fight. So I don't see him having any problems if he decides to move up.
Obviously, Andy Cruz is on this bill at the weekend. Will you be able to have a closer look at Andy this weekend, because they had such a big rivalry in the amateurs, that you'd like to see that happen as a pro?
I'd love to see that fight happen, in the future. But me putting my eye on him for this fight, let him do his thing, and once that time comes, then I'll do my homework.
Obviously, BOMAC, we need to talk about the elephant in question, and Terence Crawford and Canelo. Everyone wants that fight. It looks as if it's going to happen in September. Do you truly believe that Terence Crawford can solidify himself as a pound-for-pound number one and beat Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, of course. You got to remember something. And I want y'all to remember this, what I said. Bud called Canelo out. So obviously he sees something where he could dominate the fighter. And then that speaks volume in itself. And that will make Bud great. And once he beat Canelo, y'all can't deny him of being the greatest of all time.
Do you see, obviously there's going to be no rehydration. Is that just testament to how confident Terence is going into this?
that is speak volumes about him not having a rehydration clause or nothing like that. So, but so Bud just know what he got to do, and he know what he is capable of.
You and Terence have had such a close relationship. Obviously, I'd almost say you're like a father figure to him in ways. Would you like to see him sail off into the sunset after a Canelo fight if he was to win?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this. If when Bud beat Canelo and be solidified as the pound for pound great, and if anything else he might want to do in the sport, if it's to become a promoter, if it become a manager, or maybe a referee, I'm going to sit by there and support him at anything he wants to do.
Obviously, as well, I need to ask, there's been a bit of back and forth over the past few weeks between Terence and Gervonta Davis. What do you make of that whole situation? Is that kind of an ego thing between the two guys because they both see themselves as the face of boxing?
I really ain't been paying no attention to it. You know what I'm saying? I mentioned it to Bud, or I showed him a clip, and he was like, yeah, I'm not worried about that guy, So we got other big fish to fry than Gervonta.
But do you see, is it like maybe a jealousy thing that they're both kind of going at each other because they see the other one doing well, because they're both kind of at the forefront of boxing, especially in the US?
I don't think it's a jealousy thing. I just think they're just yapping at each other. Bud's not jealous of him. He has nothing to be jealous about from any other fighter. As far as Gervonta, what he says, it could be. I'm not going to speculate, but it's just yapping at each other. That's all. That's how I look at it. That's my opinion, y'all. Remember that. It's my opinion.
How do you see Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach playing out?
You know what, man? They're both some good fighters. I see Gervonta probably coming on towards the end because Lamont is he's a good boxer. He ain't in that position for nothing. So it's just if Gervonta can catch up with him, then it might be a short night. But if he can't, I see Roach boxing his ears off.
Obviously, someone else you're quite close with, and Shakur Stevenson. He wants that Gervonta Davis fight. How do you think that would play out if they were to face each other?
It would be like a chess match at the beginning, but Shakur always know how to put fighters in checkmate.
Have you spoke to Chris Eubank Jr. about a potential reunion ahead of this Conor Ben fight? Is there any conversation? Do you envisage a situation where he might contact you?
No. He got a great team over there. I wish him well. If he called me, I may pick up the phone. I may not. It all depends.
Do you still have a good working relationship with him, though?
We cool. We cool. We cool. So.
Well, BOMAC, before I let you go, could you give us a prediction for Shakur against Schofield? How do you think that goes?
Shakur it's gonna be. Do
you think it's a little bit too soon for Schofield?
What's the word I'm looking for? I think it's gonna be. What's the word I'm looking for? It's gonna be a learning session. A learning session for Schofield.
Well, look, BOMAC, really appreciate your time. Thanks again on IFLTV and look forward to catching up again this week.
All right.
Thank you, bro.